live with you. I don't know.
I know we haven't done a live. We've done in person. Pero mi gente is not here. Welcome back to the Get Up Girl. We live. And yes, if you're watching on the video, I am here with Salome. We are not in person together, but we are virtual. And I'm in my robe. And I was like, you know what? I'm in my robe. Why throw on? I'm gonna be real. I'm in my robe. I'm got half makeup on, Salome, if anybody can see. This is half Joanna. All when we're getting ready. I said, yeah, let's do it. How are you, Salome? Welcome back for New Orleans.
Yes, I'm great. So much exploration within self in New Orleans. Every time I travel, I come back a different person.
Mm-hmm. Touche. Yeah, I have the same with like retreats or just getting away. You're like a different, complete person. Yeah, excited to meet that new Salome. always up leveling, or maybe left, right, backwards. Who knows? I'm excited. Let's move forward because I'm really like chomping at the bit to talk about this topic.
Mhm.
I think this is one that is prevalent now. If you're listening to this in real time, it's the beginning of 2022. A lot of change has happened, right? So many possibilities are out there, and we can also think or believe that possibilities are limited and what else is possible. And I would love to chat about when we start on our exploration of ourselves and we begin to discover that we're a unicorn, that we're like, you know what? I'm a little different. I think differently. And I wonder, Salome. Oh, welcome. This is Two Chicks and a Mic, too. I forgot to say this is Two Chicks and a Mic. So this is me and Salome, two chicks. But that when you start to go on that exploration and you start to go, you know what? I'm a little different. This is what I've discovered, Salome. That I don't think we're that different. We think we do, but when you start to talk to those other people, everybody's like, "Oh yeah, I think that way too. Oh yeah, I think that way too." What do you think about that?
Okay, so yes and no.
Yeah, I get
Um
it. Yeah.
because and I get that also. Oh, I forget that we didn't go through the same exploration together or whatever. I feel like when you
Mm,
and I speak, we
mm,
have this kind of vocabulary and we use colors and we use all these other kinds of things and definitions and we get it. And it's great because even when I talk with Esther or Pi or Carrie or other people that have been around the Live Fully circle or the Get Up Girl, I can use those the same definitions and then we'll look at me like, huh, what are you talking about? Yellow, red, what?
mhm. A
So
different language. So you're saying like a different diction, different language, different way of speaking?
yeah,
Okay, I
yeah,
got you.
yeah.
Okay.
So, and then I noticed when I do talk to other people, let's just say I'm gonna use this term outside the circle when it's not really outside the circle, but outside of the JV circle or whatever. And then I use certain definitions. Then they'll kind of look at me like, wait, I don't understand. And they're like,
Mm,
oh, okay, so this is what it means, blah 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 blah.
mhm,
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay, cool. But I love doing that though. I love talking about like, oh, um, when we use colors or when we use awareness, and this is what we mean by awareness or by conscious conversations. I like talking about it. I like putting effort into that, but also it depends on who it is. Because if they give me the vibe of like they don't want to learn, they're not willing to, the willing,
mhm.
then I'm like, okay, well, I'll just let it go. And uh, that's it.
So you're the invitation, and then when
Yes.
people lean in, like you can
Yeah.
see them energetically and physically lean in and go, "What is that?" I just
Hmm.
had a conversation today, Salome, and I'm pretty quiet with um, things that I explore. So, for example, you and I, or like you said, in the circle, I'm very open, but I
Hmm.
don't go around talking like this to everybody because they'd think I'm like, "What, Joanna? We don't need to know that." So when I'm talking to somebody and they lean in
Hmm.
and they ask more questions, tell me more. I want to learn more. And then they lean in more.
Yeah.
And then an hour later, you're having this deep, deep, deep conversation of things that I don't normally walk around and say. But I do want to step back because I would say 10 years ago, I was vomiting on everybody. When I started 15 years ago, when I started my I'm going to call it my journey of myself because I was
Yeah.
like, there's something else in life. What else is possible? There's got to be something else. When I started my journey and I started learning, I started vomiting on everyone. You got to learn this. This is great. You got to do this. And all I did was push people away. And
Hmm.
it was coming from a superiority. I was a superiority a-hole of like, I know better. This is going to help you. Listen from me from my mountaintop, and you're dumb. I'm smart, and come and join me. And ain't nobody want to join me. Everybody's like, get away, Joanna, because you're preachy now. You're very preachy. It's like you're telling me I'm wrong and you're right. And that's what I believed, Salome. So I do want to talk about being uh not able. That's not the word I would like to use. Like being open and willing to have friends, people that you talk to that have different points of view than you do, that don't have the same diction. And
Mhm.
this is what I wanted to talk about for 2022. I'm very aware that there's the cancel culture, but then there's also the unfollow culture. I've been on social media lately, and there's like a lot of memes about self care, unfollow people, self care, let go of friends. And I totally get where this is coming from. And
Mhm.
this is what I invite you, and this is what I I would love to see on this planet. When Salome, you and I, and a lot more people and everybody can receive all of it, can receive the jerks, can receive the wonderful people, can receive people that get on your nerves, can receive people with different points of views, and receive all of it. Because Salome, we believe that receiving means only getting what is good. I receive, I know how to receive, open up my arms and I receive. Receiving is receiving the good, the bad, the ugly, and the freaking beautiful. It's receiving all of it. So if we turn off to the idiots, then we also turn off and turn a blind eye to the great people as well. So what are your thoughts on that?
Oh, I was just gonna add on to that. If you see me live, I'm like nodding my head yes the whole time that you're talking.
Look,
It,
I'm in my robe and my face looks freaking white. Keep going, Salome.
it takes me back to the time where everyone was canceling everybody when they were some kind like they were linked to Trump or something. Like they had this thing on Facebook. Oh, this Facebook your friend shows you what friends are supporting Trump or something like that.
Yeah.
And then I was like, what the okay? So then I was just like, okay, whatever. I'm gonna go check it out. But then like a lot of people were like, oh, whoever goes into your on your list of whoever's supporting Trump, you should delete them. Kind of
Yeah.
like saying this is what you're gonna do and this is what you should do. But I went on there and was like, I'm not deleting people because they're, have something with Trump. Like, you don't know their story. You don't know why they're following Trump. What if they're just following Trump because they're entertained by him? I don't
Yeah.
know.
That's
But
my dad. He's just entertained.
right? So I mean, and I'm entertained by people who do support Trump, and also I like learning too. I see it as a learning opportunity when people post about things of their points of view. So I don't see it as something that's very negative or that I'm closing my door towards like 100%. I'm like reading it with respect and
Mhm.
open mind. Oh, I see what's going on. Oh, okay, I understand. I get it. Not for me. But you know what? I'm not going to unfollow you for it, or I'm not going to just close a door on you for
Mhm.
that. So same thing with Instagram. And unfollowed a couple of people, but I have like my limit. But other than that, I've I know people have unfollowed me a lot, and I have this feeling, Joanna, that people unfollow me because maybe they just see me as a person that's just maybe to them I'm not the invitation to happiness. Maybe they see it as an aggressive invitation, and in my eyes, I don't see it as an aggressive invitation, and I know I have been before, and I've been more conscious about it. Like when you were saying that you just wanted to have everybody to know this and
Mhm.
to know how happy they can be,
Yeah.
but I have a feeling to why I kind of have like that vibe, like that energy,
Mhm.
like I think it's because I put a lot of my workout classes or workout pictures or something. But with those pictures, I'm not saying, hey, you better do this and you better do
Yeah.
that. I'm posting myself,
Yeah.
flexing, flexing. But
Mhm.
that's it. But again, everyone's different. Everyone's going through a different time in their lives, and maybe to them it's aggressive, maybe to them it's too much, maybe to them it's too much happiness, it's not for them, and it's okay. Like everyone's going through a different journey,
Mhm.
and I'm going through my journey, and whoever wants to, uh I guess you could say, follow my journey, then that's great, which I have gotten
Mhm.
positive feedback on that. And I have helped a lot of people, you know, wanting to get more into health and to also investing in themselves, their mindset.
Mhm. Yeah, we've said many times about shining brighter.
Hmm.
And when you shine as bright as the sun, or of course, what else is possible? We can shine even brighter.
Hmm.
But when you look at the sun, it hurts your eyes.
Hmm.
You know, like you want the sun, you might lie out in the sun, get a tan, but to look at the sun is a lot. And when we shine bright, I wonder if we're too bright for some people.
You know what, Joanna? I also explored about myself that not everybody likes to talk about stuff.
Mm,
If there's an incident or something with a friend or with a person, I'm the kind of person I thought that talking about it would always be better. Let's talk about it. What's going on? How can we make this better? How can we understand each other better? But not everybody likes to do that, and it kind of like it's crazy to me because I'm the kind of person that likes to talk it
mm,
out. Hey, let's talk it out. What happened here? What's going on here? But yeah, not everyone likes to talk about it, and that's another thing that I was conscious about. Like Salome, not everyone wants to talk about it. It's
mhm,
okay. You need it to sleep. Some people don't.
mm, mhm. Yep.
I've recognized that too.
Yeah. And it's all a choice. We all have choice. We live in the United States. We have freedom. We have choice. And it's so interesting that we have choice and freedom, and yet we don't want to use it. So these people have choice to unfollow us or to think whatever they would like. When we do turn a blind eye and we put up these blinders, you know, those horses when they put up those things on the side where they can't see the side? Well,
Mhm.
this is what happens when we're unaware and when we're unconscious, and this happens. So the people to the side, if you're watching this on video, if you're also listening to the podcast, we also do this on video, all the platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. So you could see my hands. And when I do this, and it's all the people to the right and the left that I have unfollowed on Instagram, let's say, and I'm going, I don't need to see that. I just want to look at this. Then we become unaware, and then we become unconscious. And that is extremely judgmental because
Mhm.
we're judging that's wrong, this is right. This
Mhm.
is right, that's wrong.
Mhm.
And what if it just is? It's their choice.
Mhm.
And I'm not saying to keep following them. That's what I'm not saying at all. I'm also saying it's a choice for you to unfollow.
Mhm.
And can you unfollow without judgment and just go, I'm just going to unfollow. It doesn't serve me. Do you see the difference in that, Salome? The energy of like, I'm going to unfollow them. Screw, unfollow 2022. It's all about me. It's like, wait, hold
I
on.
think my favorite thing to say with everything now is like, okay, are you going to decline with your finger on your forehead? Are you
Uh-huh.
going to unfollow with your finger on your forehead? Are you saying no? Or are you saying yes with a finger on your forehead? So I've been using that term a lot and people get it more, I think, because visually too. And they're like, oh, okay, I get it. I was like, yeah, because kind of like the way you said no to me kind of felt like more like you had your finger on your forehead. Oh, okay, I get it, you know? So it's the also the following with consciousness too, like without judgment as well. Not just
Hmm.
unfollowing, but also following with
Hmm.
not judging.
Well, what I love to do here at the Get Up Girl is also always give a tool. Like, I don't want to give philosophy and then everybody listening is like, okay, well, Joanna, how the heck do we do that? When
Mhm.
we go into judgment, when
Mhm.
I want to unfollow, when that person is getting on my nerves, when you're at a New Year's Eve party and you're there with your family and grandma so and so says something and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe she just said that. What's a tool that we can use? And a great tool is say this in your mind, because if you say it out loud, you're probably going to sound like an a-hole. You just say, that's an interesting point of view. Interesting point of view that they have that point of view. It's just an interesting point of view. And notice though, if you're saying it with the FU on your forehead,
Mhm.
notice if you're saying interesting point of view that they have that, or interesting point of view, they have that point of view. Another one I say, Salome, is interesting point of view. I have that point of view
Mhm.
because 99.9% of the time, it's my point of view that I have on them. They have a point of view, yes, but it's my point of view of what I'm judging about them. So I go, interesting point of view, Joanna, that I have that point of view. Interesting. And I will say it like a mantra over and over again until the charge is removed. Until I'm like, I can't even remember what they said anymore.
it goes back to the I statements, psychology 101. It's always going back to the I statements. I think, I this, I that, because it's really you that thinks that way.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's just interesting. That's all it is. All right, cool. Somebody follows Trump. Oh, that's interesting. Somebody follows Biden. Oh, that's interesting. It's all interesting. Now, what rings true for you is different. Now, here's another thing with consciousness. Consciousness is never solid. It's never solid. So, for example, today, if you don't like Trump, it could change tomorrow. Have you ever changed your mind and you're like, oh my gosh, I used to think that when I was 15 years old and now it's totally different? We've all changed our mind on a
From a
billion
week
things.
ago. From a week
Well,
ago, Joanna.
yeah, 10 seconds ago, right? You're like, I can't believe I said that last week. I really said that? Dang. People tell me that all the time. Joanna, you said this. I mean, I really look back at past boyfriends that I've told things to, and I'm like, whoa, I so that is not even in my universe anymore. That doesn't even ring true. That's not even like close. That's not even in
Mhm,
the galaxy anymore.
mhm,
But it was so solid for me, unconsciousness, solid in my world, judgment, point of view. This is the way it is. And look, totally different.
mhm,
And who's to say which one right now is right? That's not right. I can go back and change. I mean, there's a gazillion different ways. What else is possible? So notice that if you're like, this is what I believe, this is it. No, that's solid. You're like, well, this is what's true for me right now. This is what feels light. Yeah, feels true. Cool. And true can change tomorrow. It can always change.
mhm,
And but it's consciousness and it is awareness. It
mhm,
is awareness with people that you would like in your circle, and notice that they can change too. If you make it solid and like, this is my circle and this is it, this is my bestie, and we have so much significance around this is my bestie, and then one day they might hurt your feelings. You just never know, because then you become aware and you have so many points of views on this is what a bestie means, this is what my circle means, this is what my best friends mean. Then you have all these definitions, and then you become unconscious, and then this happens. And then
mhm.
that's when you get hurt by people that are close to you. We've all been hurt by like, where did that come from? Because we had these on.
Ooh, yes, Joanna. And it's been so much lighter lately. I mean, just recently I found out that one of my close friends who I've had for a long time is a Republican, when I found out, it was so light. Like it was like, oh,
Mhm.
I didn't know. It was like, yeah. I was like, oh, okay. So, and then I just started talking about our differences, but it felt so light. Like before, it would have been like, oh, you're a Republican and this and that. And this is a few years ago, but this literally was just something so like, oh, one of those like, oh, okay. Well, I'm not anything.
Yeah, I was just gonna tell you. I'm like, if when people ask me, "Are you Republican, Democrat?" I go, I'm whatever. I'm all of it. I'm all of
Yeah.
it. I just vote with whatever. Like it changes. I am not one thing. I'm not one thing. I'm all of it. I'm the and.
Mhm.
I'm the and girl. So I'm like, I'm none of it. I don't even know. Is there another box? The other like, is there a nothing box? Because I think I checked peace party or something long time ago. I don't know what I chose. I don't even know what but
Whatever's
yeah, you're right. I'm like,
universal. Whatever's universal.
whatever. Yeah, I'm an alien. Do they have alien box? Talk about unicorn that we talked at the beginning. Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
like, no, you have to choose one. I'm like, again, that's this. That's this. I could change. I could change. I could change. Yeah, all the time. Just choose. Like, I think of sexuality like, oh, today, yes, that girl looks hot. And today I love men. And today I love, I don't know, aliens, whatever. Like all of it. Yeah. And totally to whomever identifies one way. And I choose what feels light right now is like, yeah, I'm all of it. And like right now, I love men and it might change. Like, I love to see people that were dating a man one day, like, for a decade in their life, and then now they're with a woman. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I like that. Tell me about that. How did that happen? I'm curious. And they're like, I wanted to have fun. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Like you said, it's so interesting. Tell me. I'm curious. And then I have about a gazillion questions because I'm just intrigued, right?
Yeah.
I think it's fun.
Going back to, oh, you're straight, you're gay, you're this. What? Oh,
Yeah.
whatever I want to be. Like,
Yeah. And to each their own. If they're like gay, okay, cool. And they're like, I forgot who I was watching. Niecy Nash, is that her name? She's a comedian.
Oh, that sounds familiar. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Black girl. I think she must be in her 40s. She was married to a man, and now she is married to a female. And she says people ask her all the time. I think she was on the Red Table Talk with Jada Pinkett. So watch that, Niecy Nash. But she talks about that she's like, I'm free. That's how she says when people ask her, are you lesbian now? And she goes, I'm free. I like it all. And it's so cute because she's a comedian. And the way she says it, like, today I like women. We'll see what happens. And it's funny. And I think the way that she approached it was so beautiful and conscious. I thought it was
Mhm.
so fun and light and so true for her at that moment.
Yes, and also goes back to the conversation of that sort of thing where when you're being asked, also, how are you going to respond back again without
Right.
the middle
You know,
finger?
yeah, light. Yeah. Just like, and it was so light the way she did it. And it was like, oh, and nobody was ever going to ask her again because it was like, rather than you answer with this, like, and people are going to keep asking you. They're going to keep asking you. Yeah. I thought it was brilliant the way she did it. It took off the charge.
And I'm gonna talk about sex right now because we're going into kind of like that, but it also kind of goes with not liking a few things. Oh, I'm not that kind of person because I
Mm.
don't do that kind of stuff. I'm like,
Solid.
that
Again,
doesn't make you that, like, oh my god, you're so crazy. You do those kinds of things in bed. That's crazy. I mean,
point
yeah,
of view. Interesting point of view that do you think that's crazy? And then you're thinking, "Well, I think that's whatever. It's just
like,
Friday night.
like I love pleasuring,
Yeah.
and then it's just like, oh, that's so weird. Like, oh,
Yeah.
I
I love
love
it. Yeah. Okay, it's weird. Yep, you're right. Yeah, and it can also change. Like I know looking back and forward, things that I said I would never do that. And then I do that. I'm
Oh,
like, oh, never say
totally.
never. Yep.
Yeah,
Hmm.
because it depends on the person too. It depends on the person. Like there was this recently too where I was like, oh my god, and I did this. I like talking about my sex stories, by the way. I'm like, well, and I did this and I did that, and they were just like, wow. And I was like, I know, but before I didn't like doing it, but I guess it's the person or just my experience or my mind is different. I'm more confident. Like I can totally do this in front of a video, and I'm okay.
Let's get paid for that video. Get paid. What else is possible for your sex tape?
Like I'm
Uh,
not ashamed, Like I don't feel shame. It just feels fun.
mm. I
Yeah.
just had this idea that there are next two chicks and a mic that we do it in a robe with our
Oh
courier. No makeup and a robe. That'd
yeah.
be funny. We call it two chicks and a robe.
Or two naked chicks.
Two naked chicks in a robe. Bring you sex talk. DM us if that's what you want.
Yeah, the views will go up.
All of a sudden. Oh, we got a comment, Salome. What are we? Oh, Pinky says, y'all cracking me up. And she says, y'all. Oh, Patrick says,
Oh,
do you think a lot of judgment comes from people feeling envious? Ooh, what do you think?
oh, that's a good one. Okay, yes and no. I don't think they know they're envious, but
Yeah,
yeah, because I'll be honest, I didn't know that until later. Why
that
am
you
I
were
feeling?
envious?
Uh huh.
You okay?
Hmm.
Yeah, a great question to ask is when you have judgment about someone else. Ask, what is this? Is this jealousy? That's a great question. Ask, is this jealousy? And most of
Well,
the time it is, right? And then which
well,
becomes into judgment. And then so if you know it's jealousy, envy, then you can ask, okay, what is this? How can I shift it? Because jealousy is a call to action.
mm-hmm.
Every time I feel jealous, it's because I'm going, well, Joanna, get your butt moving. It's a call to action for me to make a choice.
Right. So it goes back to when I used to feel I would be judgy with people that were I guess overweight that would wear some piece of clothing that I wouldn't wear or something, and I'd be like, oh my god, I wouldn't wear that, oh my gosh, like why is she wearing that? But in reality, I was
You were
just
jealous because they had the audacity or confidence to wear it. Not audacity, I take that back. They had the
yeah,
confidence to wear it, and you
yeah.
didn't, right?
Now I'm them. Now I'm that person. Now I'm
You're
that
like, "Yep,"
person
and people
posting
are
the nudes.
unfollowing you
I'm
on
posting the
Instagram.
nudes, and I don't care. And now they're the judging.
Yeah, before Salome, I would have never done a live in a robe with no makeup. Yeah, here it is. It's fun. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, so judgment. Is there another question? No. I hope he's still cracking you up, Pinky. Yeah, this is fun because I just like to just laugh and talk and joke. I lost my train of thought. What am I
Like
talking about, Salome?
this is the way we talk, even like without the video.
Without the, yeah, you're right. Yeah, we have our meetings and we never we just keep talking and talking. But going back to the judgment, when we have judgment on ourselves, because most of the time it's about ourselves, and then we judge others.
Mhm.
Ask a question. The first thing is ask a question. What is this? What is this really? Ooh. Okay, I wish I had what they had. Ooh. Okay. It's a call to action. Ooh, Joanna. Okay, I would like to do that. And you go deeper, deeper, deeper. What is this? Yeah. And a lot of times, a point of view, a judgment is because you would not choose to do what they do. So, for example, you're judging somebody that follows Trump. You're just judging them because you choose not to follow Trump. That's
Mhm.
it. They just make a they are making a different choice than you are making.
Mhm.
And like you said, Salome, you're like, now I'm making that choice. All of us, how many times have we flip-flopped? So for judging somebody for making a choice, we might flip-flop and make that same choice one day.
Yeah.
Right? Any other questions out in the ethernet? In the www World Wide Web? We are we are totally sober, people. This is it. I think our questions are done. I think they left us. Anybody? No more questions. Anything else then, Salome, to wrap up on this topic about receiving people that have different points than you do and how to have your circle and the other people.
It's liberating. It's very liberating.
Freedom.
Yeah.
Freedom.
Yeah. Yeah.
It feels like we're living in a jail when everything is right and wrong. This is right, that's wrong, you're wrong, I'm right, and you're putting everybody in boxes. Your friends, you're putting them in boxes. It's exhausting. Salome, I think Patrick's listening, but I was hiking the other day with him, and in the everybody, if you all know me, I have to pee like 87 times in the morning because I drink a lot of water and I'm just always peeing in the morning. So when we go hiking, it's very fun because I have to pee in the bushes, I have to pee everywhere. And I was thinking, Salome, that I have some friends, some girlfriends that they would not choose that. They would be like, "Oh no, I am not peeing in the bush. That is not okay." It would be like a big ordeal. And for me, I just drop my trousers and I'm like, "Let me pee." I just said trousers. Where the hell did that come from? But I just drop my pants, my leggings, and I pee right there. Boom, boom, let's go. And Patrick's like, my boyfriend's like, "Oh my gosh, that is so fun. I enjoy that." Not that he enjoys me peeing, but he enjoys that it's just so like not a big thing. But that I can receive my friends, like not every single friend has to be okay with the wilderness. If
Mhm.
they're like, "Oh, Joanna, I don't want to pee out there." No, that's not fun. And it's a big deal. That's their choice. But I can remember in past years, Salome, I'd be like, "Oh, I can't be friends with them. They're not as liberated as I am. They're not as, as fun and as easygoing as I am." I enjoy the trouser dropping. That's what Patrick said. So I did want to throw that out there because, like you said, it is liberating to have friends that choose such different things that you would choose. And you're like, yeah, they're so cute. All good. I love them.
Mhm.
They don't have to think everything like you do.
Mhm.
Thank you, everybody, for listening to the Get Up Girl or watching. If you're listening on your podcast station, please write a review, 5-star review, write something. And we would
You
love to
get a
hear what
comment.
you have to say. Oh, we got another one. As saying, interesting point of view is never to me. One
It's
thing I
you.
have to be mindful of is saying that without it being snarky. Okay, so what he's saying is, I'm going to reiterate what I believe he's saying is, sometimes when he chooses to say interesting point of view, he says it with the FU on the forehead, like you said, Salome, a
Right.
little bit snarky. So he's
Mhm.
saying he's got to got to be mindful of saying it without the snarky tone. Yeah, like interesting point of view. That's not really consciousness. That's just judging the judgment again. Yep,
Yep.
he's saying yep. Yeah. And we're so cute. We're on a journey. We're learning. Of course, we ain't gonna have it perfect, right?
Mhm.
LOL. And if you're listening, you can also watch us if you want to see us in our robes maybe next time on YouTube, Facebook. Just search Joanna Vargas and you'll find us. Salome, anything else you want to say?
Oh,
Tagline?
this was such a great conversation. Just expand, expand, expand.
Expand. Yep. And we will see you all in our next Two Chicks and a Mic, Two Chicks in a Robe. DM us on Instagram at Joanna Vargas
Two
Official.
naked chicks. Two naked chicks.
Two naked chicks in a robe. Yes. Our viewership will double. We'll just double. Triple. How would that be? That'd be interesting. Patrick said expand. We'll see you next time. Remember, if you want to choose different in your life. Get back up, bring those walls and barriers down, energetically expand out, and we'll see you next time.